The Yuletide has left a sour taste on our tongue because of what happened in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. 35 miners are no longer with us because a party was organized and things went bad, and those children are now dead. We really do not know the details. All we know is that there was a stampede as far as this is concerned. And so some of us were injured, but the city, the state is still in mourning. And that is why we're shifting our attention to find out exactly what happened, what went wrong. We're being joined in the program by Mr. Adewale Oshifaso. He's the Police Public Relations Officer in Oyo State. Mr. Adewale, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. So we've had different versions of the same events, but you are the police authority. You've done preliminary findings and investigations, perhaps, to give us a clear picture of how things went from excitement to this particular development we found ourselves.
Okay. Good morning once again. For us at Oyo State, we received the news, with so much sadness, because we understand that we are in the Yuletide period, and of course, this kind of season is characterized by funfair, happiness, and gladness. Straight to it, on Wednesday, 18th December 2024, a children funfair event was organized by Wings Foundation in concert with their media partners. The projected capacity of crowd that they expected exceeded, and a stampede ensued. As a matter of fact, the program had not even started properly when the process started, and sadly, we recorded as a command 35 miners, dying, and of course 6 being critically injured, and presently responding to various medical interventions.
Mr. Shifeso, help us understand how this stampede may have occurred, because it's of great concern to Nigerians about, how planning went wrong or inadequate planning was not put into this, what the venue looked like, that may have resulted in this, unfortunate incident.
Thank you very much. Investigations are in progress, though, but from the preliminary findings, it was discovered that at some point, the fare, because they were supposed to go in with a token, at least a minimal fee and all that, at some point, the prices were slashed, and later, some had the opportunities of going in free. So at some point, something must have gone wrong as regards some sort of agitation. In this case, when it comes to crowd control, anything could have triggered it. It could be excitement, it could be fear, it could be panic. And judging from the space, which at the end of the day, we discovered that the crowd that got into that place, which was not the originally planned number, could have also contributed to the stampede, because those going in actually did most of the damage to those already in the perimeter.
We understand that 5,000 people were expected, 7,500 showed up. Perhaps you can confirm that or not. It's been said that this same event has been organized in Ile-Ife, Osun State. The ONE released a statement to that effect. It's been organized in Ondo. It's been organized in Ogun State as well. Now, Oyo State edition is different. It's turned awry now. So speak to us, was there any sort of police presence there at all? Because the assurance that was given, and this was put online, is that there will be adequate preparation, to ensure order. So just to get a sense, was the police aware that this event was going to happen? Was there any sort of police presence there to begin with?
Okay, thank you very much. Like I said when I started the chat, I was emphatic on the fact that investigations are ongoing. Now, this program this whole crowd control stampede thing started 3-4 hours before the program itself was supposed to commence. So it could have been as a result of people trying to force their way into the venue. As regards the police presence and whether or not the planners did reach out to security or law enforcement, investigation is going to reveal that. We've expanded the course of the investigation because we need to know to what length, to what involvement every component of the planning committee that led to the events participated and how their roles and their involvement were in the playbook. But as we speak, investigation is ongoing to reveal each person's role as regards whether they were indeed invited, whether the police or whether other law enforcement agents were indeed contacted before running through the process, pre, during, or even after.
Sorry, my question is quite direct. Was the police informed prior to this? It's quite simple. Did they inform the police? Except you're saying that the police was not aware. You will know this without investigation because it's straightforward.
Like I said, investigation would reveal if the police or other law enforcement agencies were contacted as regards the pre-process of the planning or even during and after. What we know as preliminary investigation findings is that program started 5 hours before it was supposed to. So what contributed was that a lot of people, most people that were involved in this particularly unfortunate incident, were trying their best to force their way into an already congested environment. So there's a lot that we need to clear. We won't come on air and give half facts or half truths. People need to know what has happened. That is what we're working on, sir.
All right, Mr. Adewale, I think it's it's difficult to accept your position. I don't think it's a hard question we're asking. It's as simple as ABC. Organizers are putting together an event, whether or not they invited the police, whether it's a unit of the police, a station, that record should be readily available. I don't think it's that difficult you don't need an investigation. That's what I'm trying to say. If the police was invited, the police was invited. If the police were not invited, they were not invited. It's not as complex as you're trying to make it. But perhaps you're just trying to be careful, I can understand. But if you want to respond to that, fine. But I don't think it's as difficult as you're making it look. If police was there, they were there. If they were not there, they were not there. If they were invited, they were invited. It's as straightforward as that. No investigation required for that. Second, we understand a couple of people have been arrested or taken into custody. Maybe you bring us up to speed as to who these persons are and what the police is looking at.
Okay, sir. First, I'd like to correct the assertion. Either whether the police has a statutory duty to go around on patrols to ensure that whenever they see unusual occurrences around them, they go there, they strike and check. But in this case, we are looking at the documentation process. Who wrote what, to who received what. So it is going to form the part of whatever reports that we will be giving out, because it's a big thing. It's a matter of human interest. Our lives were lost, and we will not come out on air to give half truth or what we are not sure about. Now, regarding the number of arrests, we have it, I can say categorically and emphatically that we've been able to have about 8 people in our custody now. 2 persons, the main event sponsor was invited the day the tragedy occurred, and she honored the invitation. She's with us as we speak. One of the major media partners actually contacted as well is still in coma, but we have police presence with him, and of course we've reached out to his legal representatives, and of course we'll be having him as soon as he comes out of coma. We have 8 people, most of which are the planners, the event planners, and they are helping the police as we speak with their various involvements in the planning process and what went wrong with the old system that led to the death of 35 and 6 being critically injured.
So talking about the planner or the media partner of the organizers of the event, they have put out a statement. I wonder if it's the same media arm, but they've put out a statement to say that they only provided a media campaign for the party that went awry. Would you clarify the degree of their culpability to that extent?
Okay, not wanting to preempt the level of investigation and to what outcome it's going to come out with, we understand that that particular medium was used to push the agenda of the Funfair. You know, that particular media outfit is very, very popular in Ibadan, quite popular and credible as well. It's more like a people, sensitive, friendly media outfit. So we are particularly involved, or rather reaching out to them based on the drive, because we also have it in good information that they were part of some of the planning process, apart from just the media push, which was written clearly in their press release.
It's really sad, and I can even tell from the tone of your voice that it's something that has affected even. I mean, the way you sound, it's understandable that this tragedy is a major one. 35 children. I know that you put out a statement where you called on residents not to panic, as they will witness high-level patrols and visible police presence to prevent hoodlums from taking advantage of the unfortunate situation. You might want to speak to that, because this is now a mix. I know security during Yuletide is always quite tricky. You have boys on the road, throwing what we call knockouts or fireworks. So there's always that charged atmosphere during Yuletide. I know there's always some extra deployment. So having this event happening yet again, I imagine tempers are flying or flaring rather. Some people maybe want to take action. So how tricky is the security situation, and what's the plan?
Okay, well, thank you very much. Just like you deciphered, it's a very sad atmosphere here. Everybody's a bit moody, but work has to go on. Regarding the high-level patrols and security intervention, this is Yuletide season. Oyo State Police Command has a tradition of being proactive. Before now, we had skirmishes of cult-related activities, which we had already mopped up. We made quite a lot of arrests, and we've been able to dislodge them out of Oyo State. And this whole fanfare thing, came up in the middle of the cult-related activities. We're trying to mop them up. And also, Oyo State has link ways. It's like a special highway where people come in for the Yuletide season. Now, you don't forget that Oyo State also has a large industrialization capacity. So before now, we've been proactive. We've been able to comprehensively secure the space to ensure that whoever is coming in for the Yuletide season doesn't have any cause to complain. And even residents would enjoy a huge level of relative tranquility that they've been used to. So we're saying we be deploying officers, people are going to witness high level, was because at that time, we had to control, one, the crowd, and we had to also ensure that hoodlums do not take undue advantage of the situation. Whenever we have incidents like that, the first line of deployment is for the forensic experts to wade in, see what they can get that can assist with the investigation. We also had to preserve the scene, that incident, for them to be able to do their work. And of course, residents know that when things happen like this, people will probably want to come, take charge, will want to create problems, crisis, and all that stuff. So we have to be proactive enough to have the deployment of our operational, tactical, and intelligence assets on ground to forestall any embarrassment. And we thank God it was successful. I mean, we received a whole lot of cooperation. People understood what we were out to do. And we are still in our own security business as it is.
Okay, it's great the preparation that is going on in the city. But let's begin to look at some of the, perhaps, the challenges the police is facing in the state to be able to do their work more efficiently and effectively. I've seen governors say they're basically chief logistic officers of the state, of the police in different states. They are not chief security officers. So what's the relationship between the governor and the police command in that particular state, as well as the level of, what do you call it, equipment and things that the police need to be able to do their work efficiently and effectively, as we need to wind down?
Okay, well, in Oyo State, we've been blessed to have a huge level of cooperation from the government. The state governor has been wonderful as regards having a firm understanding of what the business of security entails and what it should be like. We've had periods where we've received vehicles, logistic equipment, communication equipment, and sometimes when we have special duties, the governor and of course his government will always be generous, to reach out to our men, having being posted at different parts of the state to ensure that the peace and tranquility maintained. So whenever they go out like that, the governor reaches out to them, maybe rations and things like that. And the moral support is fantastic. He calls, he goes out, he encourages, and of course, we as law enforcement people, knowing fully well what the Constitution entails and demands of us, it's a boost for the command, and I guess that's one of the reasons why the relative tranquility in Oyo State is enviable, even amongst its peers.
Let's talk a bit more about the challenge that the Oyo police is facing in terms of cultism. You say that, the police command has mopped it up significantly, but it appears there's a reoccurring problem in Oyo, Ibadan, to be precise. In about 2016, the challenge was with the 1 million boys. But now, there are reports about air confraternity and all of that involved in rival cult clashes, initiation ceremonies. Is the command considering a different approach beyond, the use of force to rein in on this challenge of cultism in Oyo State?
Okay, thank you very much. It is important to note that Oyo State has a high level of institutions located in it, the universities, the polytechnics, and of course other private institutions there. So what we know is that this process of cultism has evolved. It's not the same one way back where everything starts and ends in the schools. These people have developed vices through which they've been able to equip locals. They have people that get and scamper for information for them. They have people that source information for them. They have handymen amongst them. So what we have done as a command is first to expand our advocacy and campaign reach. We are working with the Nigerian Police Forces Poker Cove. We call it the Police Campaign Against Cultism and Other Related Vices, headed by CSP, PC, Okobi, to come around and, of course, indeed mentor some of these guys that have renounced and see how we can ensure that it becomes unattractive for intending, members. In Oyo, what happened recently was just a simple case of retaliations and a drive to show supremacy. We caught wind of this through investigation, and we've been able to infiltrate and we've been able to arrest the major culprit.
All right. Apologies, we're totally out of time, but just before we let you go, how soon should we be expecting the outcome of that investigation?
As soon as it's ready. It is a matter of public concern now, and I'm sure the presidency is even involved as well. They are interested, and we know that we have to do due diligence, and that is what is being employed as we speak. As soon as it comes out, channels will be the first to get it.
Thank you. We appreciate you, and our thoughts and our prayers are with you and everyone in Oyo State. Oshifeso Adewale is the PRO of the Police Command in Oyo State. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you another leg of the conversation, something exciting. Join us again.